Hello and welcome to How to Write a Short Film with me, Anthony Hett, the film coach. In this episode, I'm going to be taking a second look at writing dialogue. This is something that I could talk about all day long. It's definitely one of my favourite topics. But in the spirit of trying to keep my videos relatively short and succinct, here are 3 more top tips for improving your dialogue. Number 1, show, don't tell. Now, I'm not sure that I can express quite how important I think it is to make sure that you show and don't tell in your screenplays. Unless you're writing a stage play, I think that it's really important to avoid writing any exposition wherever possible. Now, obviously, sound and music and dialogue are all incredibly important elements of a film. But I think it's also crucial to remember that film is a visual medium. So when I say to avoid exposition, what I mean is never say something with a line of dialogue that could be said with a sequence of images. Or even better, just a single image and sometimes just a single simple facial expression. Tip number 2, word economy. Similar to when I was talking about writing action in episode 8, I think that it's important to try and keep your dialogue concise. Now, obviously, there are lots of different styles when it comes to writing dialogue, and I think it's important that you find the style that works best for you. But for me, I think that it's important that the dialogue is saying something about the story or about a character. And if it's not, then what is it doing and do you need it? I think that it's important that your dialogue is doing some of the work. If it doesn't have a strong purpose in the script, then all it's doing is it's just taking up time. And that's something that you certainly don't have when you're writing a short film script. Tip number 3, individual voice. I think that it is absolutely vital that all of your characters have their own individual voices. When I'm reading a script or watching a film, one of the worst things for me is when all the characters just end up sounding the same. And even worse than that, sometimes when the characters just all sound like the writer. So I think it's really important that you understand who your characters are and therefore how they speak, and that will help you to understand what separates their dialogue from the dialogue of other characters. So do that character work. I talked about this in episode 16, knowing your characters, and if you want to know a little bit more about how to know more about your characters, then make sure to check out episode 17 and 18 where I discuss writing character breakdowns and character bibles. So that concludes my thoughts on writing dialogue. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, then give it a like, leave a comment below, and share it with other people who you think might also find it helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and turn on the notifications so you're notified for my upcoming videos. My next video will be looking at the difference between story and plot.